Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us this week.
Sorry we've been MIA the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of family things that we've been getting caught up on, work being done. I've been in 4 states in the last 2 weeks. So,
And me too.
yeah, and yeah.
We're going to go over how to boondock without being a nuisance so you can get invited back.
Moochdocking.
Moochdocking. Here are our 3 main tips to get you invited back so you won't be a cousin Eddie.
It's a good-looking vehicle, ain't it?
Yeah, it's so nice parked in the driveway.
Yeah, it sure does.
And stay tuned. We have a really cool surprise at the end that is pretty cool.
We think so.
All right, let's get into it.
You might be asking, why would you even want to moochdock or driveway surf? And our answer is,
It's free.
well, it can be free. Arguably, it can also cost you more depending.
Yeah, so in this case, we obviously are driveway surfing at her sister's house for multiple reasons. For one, in this area, there are no RV parks that are available.
It's true.
2, her sister's pregnant, and her sister's husband is a travel nurse. So he is down in Cincinnati for 3-4 days a week. So she has just honestly really enjoyed having us here for,
Well, we
helpful
think.
hands. Yeah, I guess we'll ask her and figure that out. All right, so will we be invited back?
Of course you'll be invited back. Yes. Thanks for
You hesitated.
spending your time here. It's been really good. And time that our kids will remember forever, and you've helped us a lot with everything from cleaning my kitchen and making me a walkway, and we've taken turns babysitting, and I don't think I've made dinner more than once, more than twice
Since we've been here.
since you've been here. You want
And then, yes, I mean, it is funny to say that it's free, but we'll show you around. It's not free. Not even close. I'm also a person that likes to stay moving, so I did a lot of home projects for him.
Also, we're pretty close proximity to a lot of things that this area has to offer, like the national park. That's the only national park in Ohio, and ironically, there's no camping around the national park, which to us makes no sense, but we'll show you how awesome it is.
Yeah.
It's also really been a blessing after our dad passed away to just be able to be so close with my sister and her family and allowing the kids time together, just that bonding that we wouldn't really get even when we were living 20 minutes down the road. So Stuart's going to take you around our Airstream and show you the kind of things you might want to install on your RV so that you can driveway surf or moochdock like we have been.
So some of the first things that you're going to need to effectively moochdock without causing a lot of disruptions to whoever's hosting you, you obviously have electrical needs, water needs, and dumping needs. So in the electrical department, if all they have is a 110 cord, the couple things that you're going to need in those instances are going to be a soft start for your AC, because otherwise majority of outlets tend to trip. I know they're usually a 15 or 20 amp circuit, but they just don't take that initial hit from an air conditioner very well, and a lot of times it'll trip the breaker. The last thing you want to do is have to wake up your host at 2 o'clock in the morning to reset a breaker because your AC went off. So in our case, with having the solar and lithium set up, we are only plugged into a standard outlet here, but the Victron can load share. So this outlet, we can only get, I think right now I have it at right around 13 amps, which isn't enough to power the AC fully while it's starting up. So the Victron load shares, which makes it a lot easier for us and has given us the ability to park here and run our ACs through the summertime. So it's been wonderful. The other thing with the electrical that I like to run, which I'll show you, is an adapter directly at the RV that goes in, and so you can just use a standard extension cord. The less tripping hazards that you have out, the better. That way, you know, I just have a standard cord on the ground. I don't have that, you know, the monster 50 amp cord then adapted down in the garage to the outlet itself. So I'll show you that, which has been wonderful. We used it all through Mexico. I didn't even take my 50 amp cord to Mexico because I knew we weren't going to have those style hookups. So I just ran a standard extension cord the entire time. The other thing you're going to need is fresh water. Majority of homes have hose spigots on the outside. In our instance here, my sister-in-law Kaylee has a flower farm. So she has flower beds in her front yard that she has a sprinkler on. So she usually always has that hose tied up. So I would always recommend bringing a splitter with you. That way you can throw that splitter on and you're not, you know, people aren't having to change hoses in between things and things like that. So again, the number one thing you want to do is don't add anything to your host as far as things that they have to do in order to live their life, you know, like you weren't there. Again, hose splitters, quick disconnects, those type of things are all wonderful to make things easier for everybody, you know, while you're staying in their driveway. And then the final thing is, how do you dump your tanks? Obviously, most people don't have hookups at their home, and that can be troublesome. So what we're running, and we actually bought this prior to launching on the road because we utilized this for about a month and a half while we were staying at another family member's house before we launched. And that is a macerator pump. This thing has been amazing. So you can kind of use this in two ways. We have this one set, they have a clean out in their garage that goes to the sanitary sewer, so we have it just, you know, into that. The other thing you can do is you run the garden hose into a toilet and you actually push it past the trap of the toilet. That way you can run the pump and it doesn't smell up their house because you don't want to do that. But it's been a wonderful addition as far as a tool and an accessory that gives us the ability to do what we're doing.
Our second major tip is make yourself useful. Make sure that if there are things that you can help with or there are things that you can do to make the homeowner's life easier or more simplified for them, get in, dig in, and help out.
I did a lot of projects around here just to obviously help them out. Nathan, my brother-in-law, is super smart guy, super intelligent. He works in the NICU and PICU, but he's unsure of himself when it comes to yard work and construction style stuff. So we worked together on this, kind of show him how we do this. So we did a steel retaining wall, which I welded all together, and then we did a flagstone, you know, walkway and steps. Still work in progress, still got a couple things to finish up on it, but again, we've been here for almost 2 months, and I look at it as a way to pay it forward for letting us stay in the driveway, that we get some big projects done for him.
Our third tip is to leave no trace. Try to make sure that you are being as self-contained as possible, picking up after yourselves, and just like you would in an RV park. Don't be leaving a mess behind.
so fun because we can actually stick the magnet tiles onto here if they decide to.
Have you built a pretty cool 3D like tree house going up the side of the wall? All right, enough with all this. We're gonna go have some fun now. We are gonna head over to the Cuyahoga National Park and check it out. Try to get these kids into the water. They have way too much energy today, so they need to get rid of some of it. So let's head out. Yeah? So we kind of broke our golden rule of not going to a national park ever on a weekend, but luckily with this one, it is a very random national park in comparison to most. So what we're doing is actually, we just came to a less popular area in the national park. The cool thing about this is parking lot's like 1,000 feet away from the water. So the kids and the new pups can just go and play in the water and have a good time. Uh-oh, he's gonna get me. Some of the best things you can do when you're in a national park is to talk to a ranger. But we were over at Brandywine Falls, which was insanely busy, insanely packed, and what I would consider just not fun because you're in like conga line. You might as well be at Disney World. He told us to come down here. He said the water was nicer, it's calmer, easier for the kids, and there's a covered bridge. That's super cool, and then it's just nobody else is here. So we have this whole beach and river to ourselves. So thank you again, Park Ranger. I do not remember your name, but thank you. Can you continue to sing?
I don't want to get demonetized on YouTube.
Oh, you got, it's like 10 seconds.
Here, follow Walter to the front.
All right, buddy.
You bunch of bums. Comfy? Are you comfy?
So to end our adventure today near the national park, we're stopping at Country Made Creamery and Orchard, which is actually owned by my 9th grade earth science teacher and his family. So let's go check out what kind of ice cream they have here. Everything's homemade. We highly recommend it.
Got my Mommy, it's vanilla flavored, but it's puppy vanilla.
How is it, Audrey?
1, 2.
You can't show me eating ice cream. I don't eat ice cream.
Let me have. Oh.
I don't eat dairy. I decided it'd be worth the stomach ache to try.
I saw her ice cream.
And it's really good. I got butter pecan. It's my favorite flavor. Get me out of Ohio.
Starters and.
This is pretty nostalgic because in high school we took a field trip to the national park. Our whole entire class of like 250 kids, and then we came to the this ice cream place, and everybody had ice cream because our teacher he owns it. So Stuart and I remember that fondly. So I had to get an ice cream cone here for nostalgia purposes, even if I get a stomachache. It'll be worth it.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, and then for everybody that waited to the end, the ultimate surprise is... What's
We
her
got
name?
a puppy. Her name is Primrose. Oh, baby. Dang it.
So,
I'm being attacked.
that's it, guys. And until next week, catch you out there. Keep dreaming.